Hi guys, it's me. I can't decide if I want my glasses on or off. And keep them on because I'm going to be reading for a minute. Here we are. We're going to talk about dry canning, and that includes oven and vacuum sealing. A little heads up. We're going to have some fun. I have a surprise for someone who, now, it might seem stupid, but I thought it would be kind of fun just to see. There's going to be a small quiz at the end. Consists of what, 7 questions, I think it is. Yep, seven questions. And whoever gets the most answers right is going to get a little prize. The fair warning, this is like my 5th attempt at this video, and I'm not exactly in the best place at the moment, so I'm screwing up a lot. But we'll muddle through, okay? So, let's start talking about oven canning, because this is a very controversial type of canning. Just to give you a little info, I taught a canning and preservation class at the North Fourth Food Pantry a few years back. And there was a lady there who was an experienced canner, only I didn't know that. When she heard that I was going to talk about oven canning, she almost left. But she stuck around, and she came up to me after class, and she told me that she was going to leave. And then when I started talking about it, she came to understand why I was talking about it, and that I provided good information. We are now very close friends, going on about 10 years now. So she's a great lady. Used to be a real estate agent. Anyway, so the reason it is controversial. First, I'm going to go over the benefits of it. The benefits of oven canning is you can extend the life of your food 3 to 5 years. It kills eggs and larvae. And it reduces moisture in your foods to prevent staleness. One thing it does not do, it does not kill bacteria or spores. Everybody's going, okay, what's this about? Anything that is made with flour, breads, flour itself, cereal, pastas, pretty much anything you can think of that has flour in it, has natural born eggs and larvae. I'm sure it's happened to me. I'm sure it's happened to a lot of you, where you've had flour for quite some time and not thinking anything of it, you decide you're going to make something like, say, banana bread, and you go to get into your flour and it's nothing but maggots. Unfortunately, they live in there, yes. And oven canning will in fact kill the eggs and larvae, but it will not kill bacteria and spores. And that is significant because that is what grows in liquids, okay? Anything that has any type of moisture to it. This is where the controversy begins. You do not can anything in the oven that is not dry, okay? Real quick, I want to give you a solution to this problem. Anything that you have, macaroni and cheese, spaghetti, flour, wheat, anything like that, cereal even, you can put it in the freezer for 2 weeks and pull it out, and all that stuff will be dead in it. No kidding. And it won't come back. It's cool. It's what I choose to do. Some people trust the oven, but I know me, and I might be in the mood for something months and months down the road, and it might not be good if I don't do it right. So I make sure I do it right. So you can do it how you choose. I would recommend, if you choose the freezer method, which I think is best, make sure if you're going to can it, if you're going to oven can it, or even vacuum seal it for that matter, you set it out on the counter and allow it to come to room temperature. This will help kill some of the moisture that it has obtained from being in the freezer. This is where oven canning is the best, okay? Plus, you don't ever want to put cold product in a hot jar. And yeah, it'll crack. There's other issues with oven canning. This is where the real controversy comes in. Okay, you cannot regulate your oven temperature. You can't. Alicia, with that beautiful oven, yes, I'm gonna pick on you as much as possible because I'm so jealous. I'm sure it's more regulated than, say, mine, which is probably 50 years old. But the reality of the situation is, no matter how high you set your oven temperature, the product temperature in the jar will never reach more than the temperature of boiling water, which is 212 degrees. You cannot pressurize in an oven, okay? And this is very important for killing bacteria in your liquids, okay? If you go on YouTube and you look up canning videos, you may see somebody with product they're canning in the oven inverted. I don't know why they do this. They seem to think it makes it pop, but it really doesn't. But anyway, it's inverted on a tray in the oven, and it's a soup or a stew or a butter, for Christ's sake. No. No. You might be able to keep those things for a few months, maybe a year, but they will never last as long as they do if you can them correctly, okay? So no. Oven, dry canning. Dry product only. It's so important. Another thing is, jars are not made for extended exposure to dry heat, okay? They will crack and sometimes explode. If you've ever had a candle in a glass jar or a glass canister or whatever, you light it, you set it on a table, you walk away, and you kind of forget about it for a few hours, and the jar gets too hot and it'll crack. You end up with wax everywhere. Sometimes it'll even explode. This is exactly what can happen in your oven. Don't do it, okay? What we're doing here is very careful, very well studied, and practiced. I have done this so many times, I could literally do it in my sleep, and I don't want you guys to have any of those issues, okay? So, the last and final reason why you should not oven can liquids. Again, you cannot kill the bacteria. You run a huge risk of poisoning somebody. You, your spouse, your kids, or, even your friends. We don't want to do that. We don't invite them over to kill them. So we don't want to do that. I've covered all that. Okay, moving on. Types of things that can be oven canned. Any flour product, really. Cereal, rice, flour, oats, dry beans, powdered milk, even the things that we've dehydrated, okay? We can oven can those. And extend their life even. Because, let's face it, I made the mistake of making some dried pickle chips. Yes, they were pickled, and then I dried them, and they were actually really good. Problem is, I put them in a coffee canister instead of sealing them the way I should have. This was early on. And when I decided I wanted to munch on them, and it wasn't long later, maybe a month or two, I went to open them up, and they were rancid. Why? Because they were in a canister that was not sealed airtight, and in my kitchen, which tends to get really hot. So, yeah. You can can those things if you do it right. In the oven or vacuum sealing. So, those are the things we're going to go over today. Oven canning. Avoid anything with oils. Okay? Ooh. Oh, I forgot I had that there. I just got wet. Anyway, pastas have oils in them. Nuts have oils in them. Nuts, okay? Do not oven can these. You can vacuum seal them and extend their life, but do not oven can them. And the reason is oils go rancid. okay? No matter how much time they spend in your freezer, you're not there just to save the oil. You're there to kill the yuck out of it. But you cannot kill the oil. Oils go rancid. It may take months. It may take years. But if you put it in the oven, that heat is going to activate that process much quicker. You don't want to do that. So, that said, I can move on. There are 7 steps to oven canning. First thing you want to do is you want to wash all your jars with hot soapy water. Rinse them really good. And then I just put them on a basic cookie sheet. Okay? Put them on that and put them in the oven for 1 hour. The reason I do this is, number one, it's next to impossible to get them properly dry with a towel. And when you're doing that, you're putting bacteria in the jar. We don't want to do that. So, put it in the oven. You will completely dry it, and you will prevent any bacteria from forming. Plus, you're also sanitizing your jars, which we always do. So, put them in the oven. Temperature is 200 degrees for 60 minutes. And 200 degrees is the temperature that we're going to use to can with tonight, okay? Now, I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to go through the steps real quick, and then I'm going to show you. Okay, so, wash and dry, oven, dry them, and then you're going to fill your jars 1/2 inch headspace. I'm going to show you this, okay? Place the jars on the cookie sheet, and put them in the oven, and this is our process time. We're not processing the jars, we're processing the product in the jars. Okay? So when you hear me talk about process time, this is what I mean. This is the canning process. Okay? We're processing the material to prepare it for long-term storage. Okay? And then when they come out, you're going to use white vinegar and a paper towel, and you're going to wipe the rim, put the lids on, and you're going to wait for the ping. We're going to go through all this, okay? Okay, so let's start here. I'm going to bring you down a little bit and show you what I've already done, just to kind of get the process moving for us. Okay. Now I've got a few things here. I've got dried beans. I've got some cornflakes, and I've got some rice. Now you notice I filled my jars 1/2 inch headspace. It's typically to the bottom of that first ring right there. Okay? We're all ready to go. I'm going to put them on my cookie sheet, and then I'm going to put them in the oven for 60 minutes. And then we're going to move on. So give me a minute. Okay, that's set. Now I'm going to go over a couple of things with you guys, okay? First off, let me see if I've still got one here. Do I? I do. No, I don't. That's... Okay, well, I screwed that up. What I wanted to show you was a glass mayonnaise jar that I have. Actually, I have a couple. They're in the oven right now. But believe it or not, you can recan in those. You can use them in your pressure canner. You can use them in your water bath canner. You can use them any kind of canning you want to do, because the glass mayonnaise jars, or at least this particular one, does fit regular size lids. Okay? And it doesn't matter if the rings fit. It's nice when they do. But they won't always. If you're doing vacuum sealing, it's fine. Just the lid. Ideally, you want a ring on it, though. But just a heads up, a lot of jars that you get, like, anything you get a glass jar in, like a picante sauce jar, or pretty much anything like that that has its own metal lid. And the reason I bring that up is because that one's not so visible. Use this one. This is a canning lid as well. You notice it's all one piece, okay? It's not usable because it's pretty much ruined. I've used it a lot. But you see that rubber seal inside there, this right here? Okay? Any of those jars, those glass jars that you buy from the grocery store, will have a lid like that with a rubber seal in it. You can use those in vacuum canning. You can use those in oven canning. You cannot pressure can or water bath in them. But you can use them for these things. Well, preferably just vacuum canning, because you can't guarantee it'll pop in the oven. But you can reuse those to store your herbs or pretty much whatever else you want to vacuum seal. And here's a cool trick. A friend of mine showed me this, and it's really cool, and I wish I had thought to go to the basement and grab a jar. You know, Halloween is coming up, my favorite time of year. You know, you typically have candy left over. I tend to buy a lot, so I tend to have a lot left over. So, if you take those little, like the little candy bars, you know, little fun-sized things, and just tear the paper so that it exposes the sandwich, drop it into a jar, you can vacuum seal those, and they're good for up to 5 years. So, if you have grandkids or nieces and nephews that come over, you want to give them a treat, you've got it on hand. You don't have to go and buy more. If you happen to have a chocolate hankering and you had a bunch left over, you can have some. It's just a neat little trick, something to do with all that leftover candy so it doesn't go bad. Because, let's face it, when chocolate goes bad, it's pretty nasty. Okay, so let's talk about our different kinds of lids real quick. All right? You can buy lids a couple of different ways. These are just lids. And when I say lids, I'm talking about this part right here, okay? No ring. You can just buy the lids, and they're pretty cheap. And it's not a bad way to go, because you use your rings over and over and over again, but not necessarily your lids. This is a ring. And you can actually buy these with, I opened the box upside down, so I'm going to go this way. You can actually buy these as kits like this. Okay? Now I will tell you, with oven canning and vacuum sealing, you can actually reuse the lid. Okay? You can reuse the lid provided you clean it really well. It has no damage whatsoever. You can reuse it to vacuum seal and oven can. Again, do not ever use it for any other kind of canning though. Okay? Something I forgot to tell you, and I said I was going to screw up a lot. When you do your canning, you want to first inspect your jars. Make sure they are free of cracks, okay, which they should be. And run your finger along the rim, because sometimes in washing, sometimes even in canning, that can get chipped. And if it gets chipped, it will prevent it from sealing. Very important. You don't want to think you got it and then you ain't got it. Okay? So, that's our lids. I'm going to move that out of the way. I came across something today that I've had and I completely forgot about. Tara, this is for you. I think you're really going to enjoy this little trick, okay? Among my collection of books for food preservation, I came across this. Now, this tells you everything that you can dehydrate. It tells you recipes. It'll give you every drop of information you can get. You can get it from Amazon. And it's only, I think I looked it up, it was like $14. It wasn't bad at all. Okay, now, we're going to talk about vacuum canning. And there's a few things that you're going to need for vacuum canning. Yeah, it's a cheesy grin. Here's something, first off, these are oxygen packs. You see them in purses and in shoes and in a lot of other things. When you're vacuum canning, you will be using these because over the course of storage, moisture can sometimes collect. This will absorb it, okay? And they're not expensive. There's, 100 in here, and I got it for 10 bucks. It'll last forever. So that's one thing. The next thing you're gonna need, along with your Food Saver, or whatever brand you happen to have, you're going to want to buy a kit. And your kit is going to consist of a regular mouth lid, a wide mouth lid, okay, and your hose. Okay, this connects to the machine and it connects to your lids. Really easy. Now, remember I said there was going to be a treat. Well, here's my treat. And this is one of the areas I kind of screwed up. I could not find my hose this morning, or last night. I was trying to get everything together, could not find my hose. So I quick got on Amazon, and I found a lovely little kit. Okay, it comes with everything. Your hoses, your little end pieces, and this is to pop your lids after you're done, okay? Comes with all of that. And for the person who gets my questions right at the end, this is what they're going to get. This lovely little vacuum sealing kit, which will not come with any Food Saver product. You actually have to buy it separately. So it's going to be fun to see who gets this. Now, vacuum sealing is so easy. It's really probably the simplest thing there is. And I don't really have anything ready right now that I want to vacuum seal. So I'm just going to basically, oh no, I guess I can do these. These are lentils. Well, actually no, these are split peas. Dried split peas, okay? So it's just like anything else. Hope they all fit. You're going to pour it in. You're going to leave a quarter inch of head space, okay? And always, always, always remember to use your trusty funnel. These things are the best. Okay. So you see my lovely little jar and my quarter inch of headspace over here. Now I'm going to bring you a little closer so you can watch what I do. Bear with me a minute. There we go. There we go. Sit you right here. And then bring you down. Okay. So, make sure that your machine is sealed all the way. Oh, watch out, Bubba. Get you a clean lid. Hermes, buddy, you gotta take it out. You're gonna break my neck, and I'm not really up for that right now. Okay, just your lid. Okay. Oh, and something you're gonna do every time you can. Hermes, out, please. Every time you fill a jar, this is plain white vinegar and a paper towel, okay? You're going to run this along the edge of your jar, and I always recommend going around your threads too, simply because if you create the habit, and see what come off of there? Can you see that? If you create the habit, then it's always going to be a good habit, and you won't ever forget. So, now that we've done that, put our lid on, okay? And this goes right down on top, and you lock it down. Now, if those of you that have a food saver, you'll know this, but you got a lot of different settings here. So we want normal, and we want dry, and then we just hit vacuum seal. Listen to the sound it makes. And then it stops when it's done, okay? It is sealed. Whoops! That happens sometimes. And no, we will not reuse that lid. It now needs to be washed. So we'll try again. I might not have had this part down on quite good enough. Okay, let's try that again. This might not have been in there right. Yeah, there we go. That's the problem. All right. So, normal, dry, vacuum seal. Okay. Now it says it's sealed. Pull that off. You hear that? Now, how you check for seal. You push down, whoops, sorry. Push down in the middle. Where's that other? This one here, I'm just going to use this as an example. See how this one does that in the middle? That will tell you it didn't seal. This one, we don't get that noise, so it's sealed. All right? Now, what you do after that, always, always, always label your jars. Label and date. Now, this is something I was going to talk to you guys about. You can buy these labels, okay, and stick them on your jars wherever you want, the lid, the front, whatever. It's good if you're giving them as gifts to people, but if it's something you're going to keep for yourself, you might want to consider just writing it on there. Okay, put your lid on, no more than finger tight. This is split peas, dried peas. And very, very important, today's date. What is today? What is today? It is, what the hell is today? I'm trying. Oh, it is October 1st. I should have known that, right? Okay, so 10/1/23. See that? Dried split peas, 10/1/23. And that will be good for about 20 years, just like that. Now, we've got about an hour to go, well, about 45 minutes to go before the oven jars are ready. So I'm going to pause for now, and then I will come back and I will attach another video to this when we go through that. So you guys can see the ping I'm talking about. But before we do that, I didn't forget our questions. Here we go. All right. Your 7 test questions for vacuum sealing canning kit. Okay. Question number 1. Give me 2 of the 3 benefits of oven canning. Question number 2. What are the 5 concerns against oven canning? Very important. 3. What should you never oven can? 4. 5 examples of items to oven can. Things that you can oven can. 5. What is the boiling temp of water? The boiling temperature of water. 6. Give me the 7 steps to oven canning. And 7, 3 examples for items that you can vacuum can. All right? I'll be back in a little bit when the oven is ready. And, you can either put your answers down in the comments, or you can message them or text them to me if you have my number or my Facebook. Either one is fine. And I'll be keeping track. Come Wednesday, I'll announce the winner. See you soon. Hi again, guys. We're about ready to pull our jars from the oven. So I'm going to adjust my camera so you can watch what I'm doing and then pull them out of the oven. Okay. Hopefully that provides you a good enough view without everything falling over. Okay. Now. I hear you. Shut up. Oven timers are always so much fun. Okay. So here's our jars. They are very hot. Turn that off. Put that away. Okay, now. Oh, good. They're all regular mouth, so this ought to be pretty quick. 2, 3, 4, 5. Where the heck are my lids? I may have robbed these. Hang on a sec. Okay. Always a fun time when you don't have what you think you have. Okay. So just put your lids on. And then put your rings on finger tight. No more than finger tight. It seems silly. This is going to be a relatively short video because ouch. This is the only reason. Well, there is one other reason. But now that we got the lids on, what we want to wait for is the ping. And this is a ping you're going to hear every time you're canning, no matter what kind of canning you're doing. And it's very important. And one other thing that is very important is you don't want your jars to cool down too quickly. And again, this is with any kind of canning. So you want to cover your jars. I need another towel. Especially if you're running fans or air conditioners, because they can crack your jars. There we go. So just make sure that no breeze can get to them, and then we just wait for our ping, which should be coming any minute now. This can sometimes be a little tricky. But while we're waiting, I have a couple of things that need homes. This is a baby cake maker. It's those those cake popsicle things. Or mini donuts. It's a mini donut maker. If anybody is interested in that, please let me know. I also have a Rival waffle maker. It's in good shape, pretty good shape, and it needs a new home. I told you guys not long ago I was going to have a few things. And then I've got this. This is a Pizzelle maker. If you don't know what Pizzelles are, they are those flower-shaped cookies. My grandmother used to make them a lot. And this is a Magic Chef Pizzelle maker. And then I have this, and you can laugh if you want. I kind of fell in love with those blooming onions. And this is a blooming onion maker. If anybody is interested, please let me know. And last but certainly not least, it is a small rice cooker food steamer. It's not brand new, but it is still in the box, and it is looking for a new home. So, if anybody is interested in any of those items, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to rehome them. Shit, I screwed up. Now I gotta try and get these suckers off without burning myself. And I'm gonna do this really quick. I forgot to wipe the jars. I told you guys I'm not at my best. I've kind of got a lot going on and I'm forgetting stupid stuff. So, that one's done. Okay. Whew. I'm trying to seal, not quite yet. You don't want it dripping, you just want it with the vinegar on. I always kind of like oven canning when you're canning certain things because you can smell them. And like the dried beans kind of smell a little bit like chocolate. I know it sounds funny, but they do. That one kind of sealed. All right. There we go. Still plenty hot. Those bad boys up and wait for our ping. Sometimes oven canning can be pretty quiet. It's funny to say that, but it's also true. But, oh, there they go. We only have 5, so they're not going to be very slow at it. When they start, they're just going to pop. We got, oop, there went another one. Okay, well, there's that. Okay, okay, we got our pings. So, yeah, we got our pings. So now we're good to go. And, well, I hope you guys have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the video. And I can't wait to see who gets the vacuum sealing set. Have a great night, guys. Hope to see you all soon.